Poppin', it's your boy, Simeon Russell. And guess what? We here live with Nothing But Knicks. Glad you're joining me tonight. And hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. Yo, I'm still at that mansion. You know what I'm saying? I'm still at that mansion. And hey, to say the truth, mansion is a little bit it's a little bit I don't know. It's a little bit scarier than I thought, for real. It's got a whole story behind it. You know what I mean? Come to find out, the people that own it, they still live here. And yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. They still live here. They had this house built. I don't know how long ago they had it built, but they had the house built after a spy and CIA house or something like that, based out of Germany. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. You know, there's trapdoors, there's uh, secret secret staircases and all kinds of stuff that go throughout go throughout the house. So it's a little bit crazy. There's actually a book that came out um, yesterday, a mystery book that's based on this house. You know, so it is what it is. But you know, if you guys seen Get Out, it's kind of like that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The yeah, it's kind of like that. The owners, you know, they're a little bit weird, a little bit. They got one black lady, young black girl that works the desk. Another brother that's you know, cleans up the house a little bit, and it seems like it'd be a scene from Get Out up in this joint. But it's cool, you know. They've been real nice. They've been real nice. Went downstairs all the way down to the basement and played pool last night. Had a conversation with a couple of people. We walked around the mansion trying to find these secret staircases that supposedly lead in through without in throughout the mansion. I guess if you find those staircases, they give you a free stay here, or something like that. But you know, when you think about it, I'm kind of happy we didn't find it, because you never know what happens if you go in those staircases. But yo, uh, Steve Mills. I want to talk about Steve Mills. Heard him on Stephen A. Smith today. You know what I'm saying? Heard him on Stephen A. Smith, and I like what I hear from Steve Mills. You know, I'm just liking what I hear from this regime all the way around. But Steve Mills said some good things during the podcast, some things that I think are important for us to know. It was light. It was light, so it wasn't crazy. You know, it wasn't. You know, we didn't get super deep into everything, but you know, there were some things that he touched on that Stephen A. Smith did a pretty good interview. Big shout out to Stephen A. Smith for that. I don't agree with everything Stephen A. Smith says or does, but that was a really good interview. Um, and you know what? Look, Stephen A. Smith didn't back down on things that he said. He said he wanted Mark Jackson. He told Steve Mills that he liked Mark Jackson over Fizdale, although he still does like Fizdale. Told Steve Mills that he wasn't a big fan of Frank Ntilikina, but I definitely think he's wrong on that. He should be a big fan of Frank Ntilikina, and I think in the years to come he will be a fan of Frank Ntilikina. But of course, one thing that struck me is that Steve Mills, and I think we all knew this. We've known this for a while. Steve Mills is only doing they're doing 1 year deals this year. You know what I mean? They're doing 1 year deals this year, which is good. Now, I think that he can clearly say that today, because I think they probably already know that Enes Kanter is going to opt into his contract. I think they know it. They understand it. Look, they know what the market is. Enes Kanter maybe is, you know, testing out the market to see if there's anything for him out there. Uh, there won't be a Twitter feed that he's opting into his contract. Expected $18 million expected to opt in. So with that being said, I'm sure Steve Mills. I think Steve Mills already knows that, and he probably feels that their options are going to be limited. Eugene, glad you caught me live, bro. I'm glad. Good deal. Good deal. Glad you're here. But the options are going to be limited. They're not going to have a lot of money. Um, I think they have an $8 million exception. He said there's feedback in the background. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's ghosts. I don't know. There is a heater back here that's on because it's a little bit cold in this house. So, that could be what it is. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, where was I? Oh, I think the Knicks are going to have an $8 million. They have $8 million they can use, whatever it is, $8 million exception or whatever that they can use. Um, and then another $3 million, and they don't have to use that $8 million all on one person. They can split it up. $8 million isn't a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of money today. Uh, so who do we expect them to use it on? We don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, veteran minimum deals, they can use as many veteran minimum deals as they need to, as they like. Will they get a veteran that's willing to take a good vet that's willing to take the veterans minimum deal to someone that can be kind of like a leader kind of guy? Maybe. We'll see how that is, but I wouldn't expect anything significant from this free agency. I am interested though in I'm interested in bringing in, if we can't bring in a leader, a veteran leader, which I would like to have happen, and I still think there's going to be more moves made um, when we're talking about Courtney Lee and things like that. I think Courtney Lee is probably going to be moved on elsewhere. If not, then we rock with it. I'm cool with it. And we don't need to pick up another veteran leader. We talked about this in the last stream. But if not, then, let's get some more young talent. Let's get as much young talent as possible. Stack up on young talent. Bring in young talent. That's what we need. Steve Mills, he said on his well, not on his podcast, but on the Stephen A. Smith show, he said the words that he uses, that they're looking to try to get things in order. Right? They want to get things in order. Why? They want to get things in order so that they can have a max contract. Well, they'll have enough room for a max contract next year, but so that they can attract free agents. Let's see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Will the Knicks ever be back as a destination spot in the NBA? Listen, they're a destination spot. They're a destination spot for the wrong reasons, right? The Knicks are a destination spot because it's New York, right? Knicks Fan TV, what's popping, man? Cruz, what's popping? I didn't say what's popping to everybody. As I see your names, I say I shout you out. Rockford Rail, what's popping? New York right now is a destination spot because it's New York. Can Steve Mills, can Scott Perry, can they bring New York back to the type of respectability where we are, you say we, are a destination team because of the team, right? Because we're a good basketball team, because we are respected for our basketball acumen, that we have a winning culture. Yeah, MH, that we have a winning culture, that we have a strong executive team leading the organization, right? That's what we hope that Scott Perry and Steve Mills are able to do. That's what Steve Mills says that they want to do, so that next year in 2019, free agents are coming and looking at the Knicks. Can we make that happen? That's a good question. I hope so. I hope so. Because if we're able to free up that money next year, which I believe so. And listen, I'm gonna tell you now, Steve Mills had good things to say about Enes Kanter. Although he was a tad bit mum, he didn't say anything crazy. He respected Stephen A's opinion about Enes Kanter, about that he works hard and he goes out and he balls and all those type of things. But he was a little bit mum because in order for the Knicks to have free agency money in 2019, Cantor has to go. It's the only way because he makes $18 million, will be a free agent in 2019. He's not here for the long term. I know there's a lot of people that like him, but he's not here. He's not here for the long term. I'm sorry. And I like Cantor. I do. What he does on the internet sometimes annoys me. Annoys me sometimes. Kind of slide this light around a little bit. What he does on the internet sometimes annoys me. But for the most part, he's a positive player on the floor. He struggles defensively at times, and he needs to work on that. We know that. But for the most part, he's positive. He can rebound the ball. He can score in the post. But I don't see him being here long term. I don't see long term. And at the end of next year, unless he just has some amazing year, which I doubt, he'll have his regular year, in my opinion. Um, and Enes Kanter will not be back with the Knicks at the end of next season, in my opinion. If he doesn't get traded halfway through the season, but I don't think the Knicks will do that because they want to have money to play around in free agency next year. And I think their primary target is going to be Kyrie Irving. Really, I do. I think their primary target is going to be Kyrie Irving next year. Um, I don't think that's a secret. It's probably the worst kept secret in the league right now. Um, that'll be their primary target. So this year, free agency is going to be kind of mum, but that's okay. I think we have young guys to be excited about. So we don't have to worry about free agency. We can really focus on our young guys and enjoying our young guys, watching them grow, watching them play, watching them to develop. And you know, then we'll see what happens next year. During warfare, you say you don't want Kyrie. Look, I mean, of course, I like Kyrie Irving. I think he's a hell of a point guard, hell of a scoring point guard. I'll say that. And he can get to the cup. He's probably the best finisher in the league. Um, he can create for other people. Does he always do it? You know what? We didn't get to see. I didn't get to see too much of him this year. Um, but he was playing. He was having a decent season in Boston. He's still young. He is injury prone, and that's my biggest issue with Kyrie Irving. From the time he was in college, he's been injury prone. Knicks fan TV, what's popping, my brother? You say they have no choice. Sorry about that, my friends, Um, Stream stopped for a second, but I think we're back on. I'm in a crazy location. I'm in this big old house and was kind of in the back woods somewhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, the internet's not that great. But Knicks fan TV says that we need to go after Kyrie if we want KP to stick around. It might be. Them two have talked. They have spoken, or at least Kyrie has spoken to KP. Let him know a few years back that he'd like to play with a big man like him. I don't know. Yeah, Knicks fan, I'm still here. I'm still here, man. I don't leave until tomorrow. I'll be out of here tomorrow and get back to some regular civilization type stuff. You know, Hopefully I get up out of here. Um, so but that is my thing with Kyrie as well. The injuries. He's injury prone. He's been injury since college. Injury prone since college. That does scare me a little bit. Um, we'll have to see. But I think Kyrie is going to be the Knicks' number one target when we get to free agency. You know what I mean? I think so. He'll be the number one target. You Someone asked me what I think about Beasley. You know what? I don't know. I think right now Beasley and his agent are um, probably testing out the market, seeing what's out there, seeing if there's someone that's willing to sign him something long term. Excuse me, folks. Apologize for that. See if there's someone that can give him a long deal. I think at this age, Beasley's like 28 years old. Um, he's going to want a long deal. Try to secure up his future a little bit. Get a long, try to get a 4 or 5 year deal. I would if I was him, but he may not. And we do have that $8 million that we'll be able to use to give him. Now, will he take a 1 year deal? He may. I don't. Based on what Steve Mills said today, I think that Kylo Quinn is probably going to be gone because I do not think that Kylo Quinn wants to accept a. Um, I do not think that Kylo Quinn wants to accept a 1 year deal. I think he wants to get a longer term deal. We'll see what happens with Beasley. Beasley maybe wants to accept a 1 year deal, but I think that Beasley probably wants a longer deal as well. You know what I mean? You say you think KO might accept a 1 year, $10 million deal. Who said that? Raw Hebrew. You say you think he might take a 1 year, $10 million deal. I don't know. I don't know. I think Beasley is, he's jumped around his whole career. He's jumped around his whole career. Or was that? Hold up. Wait a minute. You said. Oh, you say you think KO will take a $1 million, a $10 million deal for 1 year. I don't think he will. I think that Kylo Quinn, um, it's time. I think he wants to get paid. I think Kylo Quinn wants to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Kylo Quinn, um, Kylo Quinn is, he's at the point where he can get a nice deal. You know what I'm saying? He can get a nice deal, and I think he's going to go get his deal. He has to. Got to go make his money. Got to go make his money. You know what I mean? I do like Kylo Quinn. I like what Kylo Quinn brings to the team. I like his grittiness. I like his passion on the floor. Sometimes he makes some boneheaded mistakes. Does some things that I don't agree with sometimes, but for the most part, I really do like Kylo Quinn. I really do like him. Ian Ernest, what's popping, man? You say, what do I think happens with? What do you think happens to Joakim Noah? I mean, there's not much that can happen with Joakim Noah, right? I think we bring Noah into training camp, see what's happening with him. Try to get him on the floor, see if he can give us something. You know what I mean? Now that Kylo Quinn is out, listen, I like Mitchell. I like what's his name there? Center we just drafted. I think he could be a good player one day, but he hasn't played ball in 14 months, right? He's gonna take some. It's gonna take some time with Mitchell Robinson. It's gonna take some time. You know what I mean? He's going to. I think maybe he'll play in the G League. We'll see what he does in summer league, right? We'll see what happens in summer league. We'll see what happens in training camp. We'll see what happens in the preseason. But I think ultimately he's going to end up spending some time in the G League. He hasn't played ball in 14 months. He's out of shape, right? He may be in shape as far as working out is concerned, right? Getting on the floor, doing drills, running through sets even. maybe some 3-on-3, 4-on-4, half court stuff. But the basketball game is totally different. When you're out there on the floor, it's totally different. You can play pickup all day long. You get out on the floor where you're actually playing ball. Uh, uh, it's different. It's a different kind of shape. You know what I mean? Um, so it's gonna take some time for him to get in that kind of shape. He's got to adjust to the speed. I mean, listen, if he hasn't played if he hasn't played organized basketball in 14 months, right? He's still got to get used to the speed. He's got to get used to the strength. There's a lot of things he's going to have to get used to um, when he gets into the league. You know, it's going to start with summer league, and then after summer league, it'll go to preseason, and then probably the G League for a little while, and we'll see what happens from there. So, Joakim Noah may come invaluable this year, especially if KO, I expect to probably be gone. So Joakim Noah will probably be valuable, have some kind of value for us, at least until Robinson can come along. I think that the Knicks have every intentions to sign Mitchell Robinson. Um, Listen, you don't talk about him in interviews. You don't take a picture with him and Kevin Knox as your two draft picks if you do not have intentions on giving this kid a chance. I mean, they're already in the promotion of him. So I think they have in their mind that he's going to be on the squad. That's just my opinion. Um, that doesn't mean that he has to get playing time just because he's on the squad. I think he's going to need that time. And Joakim Noah will, probably get a chance. He'll get a chance to play, get a chance to get back on the floor, get a chance to prove that he still has something to give us. Um, Listen, he's a vet. He's been around. He's got a crazy contract. He deserves to get the chance because he's a vet, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Give him the chance. It can't hurt. And that man, like Ronald Cleveland said, you don't believe in anyone getting paid without doing anything, right? That give Joakim Noah a duty. Do something. Give him a duty. He's getting paid $17, $18 million. Give him something to do. Make that man earn that money. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he cleans every seat in the garden. Make that man earn that money. I'll clean every seat in the garden for $17 million. Trust that. I'll do it. Quick and easy. They'll be the cleanest, shiniest seats you ever seen in your life. I'll clean them joints. So give that man something to do. Give him something to do. That's what I think happens with Joakim Noah this year. So he probably will he'll have some kind of role maybe this year. You know what I mean? Until Mitchell Robinson can come along. And listen, Joakim Noah, we were talking about bringing in um, a uh, um, a mentor for Mitchell Robinson. Hopefully, Joakim Noah can be that for a little while. Hopefully he can be that. Alonzo Trier. I see some people asking about Alonzo Trier. You know what? Honestly, I need to go back and really get a chance to look at some videotape of the kid and watch a couple of games. The past 2 weeks have been kind of crazy. The reason why I'm here in this haunted mansion is because one of my clients that I work for, we have a board retreat every year where we go someplace for about a week, and we'll just all hold up together as we develop a strategy and develop our strategic plan for the next year. I mean, we just hold up together, crunching, just going over plans and strategies and all that kind of stuff. It's fun and it's cool. Sometimes we do some fun activities together, those type of things. So yeah, it's all right. But I've been preparing for that for the past 3, 4 weeks, getting ready for it. My time is going to be a little bit more freer, so I can really get in and check out, some of these things. So I hadn't really had a chance to look at Alonzo Trier, I've read some things about him, you know, and of course I know about the whole doping thing. Listen, the kid could have been a low first round pick from what I understand. You know what I mean? And look, I mean, the Knicks in the second round, the Knicks got a guy that could be a low first round pick. Then they signed a guy that was undrafted that could have been a low first round pick. You know what I mean? I mean, the Knicks could have essentially pulled away two first round draft picks. I mean, I'm sorry, three first round draft picks in this draft. Essentially, they could have. Listen, you had to take some chances. They took some chances on. They took a chance on both of them. But you got to do that sometimes. And if you feel you have the leadership within your organization, you have the development, you have the leadership, you have those things within your organization, then you're not afraid to take chances. I think the Knicks feel that they have that kind of leadership. So they took some chances with these guys, and hopefully they work out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ronald Cleveland said the Knicks is in the best situation with low expectations. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I did not see the Hot 97 interview, but I'm gonna go back and check that out. Go back and check it out. Yeah, I'm hoping. Right, Tyon. I'm hoping we got lucky with these guys, and both of them have question marks. Right? Mitchell Robinson has question marks with everything that happened with school, why he left school, he didn't go to the combine. There's question marks there. Of course, there's question marks with Alonzo Trier as far as his, the PEDs and everything. So there's question marks. We get lucky, both of them work out. I think that still, our roster is all over the place, kind of still. And, we need to work that thing out. We need to see what it's going to be like. So next year, if the plan is to really go after a free agent next year, that free agent has to see where he fits on this roster. Any free agent's got to see, where do I fit? Where do I plug in? If you got 5 point guards, why do you need another point guard? If you have 4 centers, why do you need another center? Right? So we've got to clean some things up. And I think when Steve Mills says we got to get our house in order, that's what he's saying. We got to clean some things up. We got to clean it up. Make the roster look nice and neat. So with players that they are considering to target, so those players can look and say, yeah, I can see where I fit. I know where I'm going to be in this roster. So we got to clean it up. Got to clean the roster up a little bit. And make it look nice and neat. And I want to go back a little bit. I seen some people ask about Lance Stevenson. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Much rather, deal with who we got. I don't know. Kind of knuckleheadish. I don't want to deal with that right now. If we had more veterans on the team, listen. If we had Rasheed Wallace and them guys on the squad, okay, I'll bring Lance in all day long. When we have Rasheed Wallace, Marcus Camby, Jason Kidd, we had them kind of guys, I'll bring in Lance. You know what I'm saying? Because, they tougher than Lance. You know what I mean? They're tougher than Lance. Right now, we won't have anybody on the team tougher than Lance. You know what I'm saying? Lance will come in and destroy this squad with the stuff he does, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, just because he's a knucklehead, you gotta have some strong vets on the squad that can put him in place. So that's why I'm a no to Lance. I don't think that's what we need. You know what I mean? I do. Talking about free agency, and I'll announce this a couple of times during the stream. Next Sunday, I'll be on. Of course, I'll be on next Sunday, and I'll be back in the studio. As a matter of fact, I'll be back in the studio this Sunday. But next Sunday, July 8th, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Tommy D. He's been on. He's done multiple blogs, and he's been on SNY, and so he'll be on the show. He'll be on the show, share the show with me on Sunday, July 8th, 10:30 p.m. We will talk free agency. We'll talk free agency. So that's gonna be cool. Got a few other people lined up in the future that we're trying to get things together. So we'll see what's popping there. Yeah, Tommy D. I know some people got some. I've always been cool with Tommy D. Me and him, we've had some conversations before. Always been cool with him. So yeah, TD's gonna be on the show. Yeah, he'll be on the show. Um, Frank Ntilikina. I want to know why Stephen A. Smith is so down on Frank Ntilikina. And listen, Stephen A. Smith doesn't mean much when it comes to the New York Knicks and what fans think and making decisions and stuff like that. TJ, yeah, I'm gonna try to talk to Anthony and see if we can get him on the show as well. I'm gonna talk to him. But why the hate for Frank Ntilikina? You know what I'm saying? Listen, in one vein, now, and I know that the Knicks took Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, Dallas took Dennis Smith Jr. right after the Knicks took Frank. But in one vein, he's talking about how Michael Porter Jr. dropped, and that I'm not sure. He told Steve Mills, I'm not. I don't want to blame you. I'm not blaming anything because all these other teams skipped over him before, right? Um, skipped over Michael Porter Jr. But listen, same thing happened with Dennis Smith Jr. Same thing happened with Donovan Mitchell. All these other teams skipped over them and took other players, right? But he's mad at the Knicks for taking Frank Ntilikina, not seeing and understanding the potential of the kid. And I seen someone say here, why the love? I could tell you why the love. I'll tell you why the love. Right? One, he's a young guy that comes in with a defensive acumen that most rookies do not come in with. That's a building block to me. That's what you build with. Right? You build with a young guy that has defense. Because now you don't have to teach him defense. See, in my opinion, it is much easier to teach a guy how to play offense than to teach a guy to play defense. Because for a lot of players, defense is something that is innate. It is in their nature. Right? A lot of guys don't want to work in the league. When you play defense, you got to work. You got to work when you play defense. You got to put in the work on the floor. You can rest on offense. You can come down on offense, pass the ball off, move around. You can rest a little bit. As a matter of fact, I've always been taught. You play defense tough. Offense, that's when you can get a chance to rest. You know what I'm saying? So a guy that comes in and naturally plays defense, you want that on your team, especially for a player who his shot is not broken. We've seen flashes of him being able to go to the basket. We've seen him be able to do some things offensively on the floor. He knows how to find the right person in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? He understands a few little nuances of the game that a lot of young players may not understand as far as from what I see. No, maybe he's not going to, Tony Crow, what's popping, bro? Maybe he's not going to be a 20-point per game kid. I don't care about that because you don't always need that. You know what I'm saying? You don't always need that. So that's why I'm high on him because defensively, he's already bringing it. Now that he's bigger and stronger, he's going to get faster, understands the game even better. His defense is going to get better offensively as he understands the game. He's going to get better offensively. You know what I mean? He's the kind of guy you want on your team. He just is. He's the kind of guy you want on your team. And he was 19 years old. And Steve Mills told him that. He told him. He asked him, why are you so high on this kid? He said, cause he's 19 years old. And he has something to hang his hat on already. You know what I mean? And that's a big move. And I like the analogy when you say you have something to hang your hat on. Right? Because if you walk into a house and you're going to want to take your hat off and you have nothing to hang it on, you walk around the house forever looking for a place to hang your hat. Looking for a place to put your hat. if you want to hang your hat up. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if there's already a place to hang your hat, boom, you hang your hat on the hanger, and now you're free to learn and do other things. That's what I'm saying. He already has something to identify with. Now he can grow from there. We gotta respect Frank. Give him that respect. Give him that respect. But listen, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm looking at this as his rookie year because last year, to me, he's just getting his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff Hornacek didn't trust him enough to put him on the floor like he should have. So this is kind of like a rookie year for Frank. Um, so I do expect him to step up. I expect his game to step up. And then next year, his game will step up some more. Year 4, his game will step up some more. And that's when I'm really going to be looking to say, okay, what's this kid got? What does he really have? That 4th year, because I'm looking at this like a rookie year. That's my opinion. That 4th year, I'm saying, what does he have? You know what I'm saying? Does he have it? That's when I can look at him and say, listen, I think by that 4th year, he may be 6'7". He's going to be much bigger. We've seen how big he's grown now. It's going to be much bigger, much stronger. I expect the kid to be really good. Really, really good. I think he's going to be good. And I think he will be. Yes, I think he will be a guy that'll be a key part to a championship team. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I see in the chat some people saying that Dennis Smith Jr. is likened to a Stevie Francis, and yeah, I agree. I agree that I said that a long time ago. He's like a Steve Francis. Steve Francis was good. He was good, but he left the league kind of early though, right? His game was kind of hollow. I mean, people couldn't win with Steve Francis. You know what I mean? Couldn't win with him. Glenn Colston, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, bro. People couldn't win with Steve Francis. You know? Um, I'd much rather Frank be Jason Kidd of the New York Knicks in 2012, 2013, or Jason Kidd of the Dallas Mavericks of 2010 than Steve Francis. Even though Jason Kidd of 2010 wasn't the best Jason Kidd that we've ever seen, he was good enough to help lead his team to a championship, right? That's what I'm with. That's what I think that about Frank. You know what I'm saying? Troy, you said he's not going to be nothing but a backup. We'll see. I disagree. I really do disagree. I think that Frank will work his way into a starting lineup. I don't know. I think that he has a different kind of. I think he has different expectations for himself. I think that he is basically. I don't know what you want to call it. He's nothing but basketball. He lives it. He breathes it. Some of these other guys, you can question it. Not with Frank. Frank breathes basketball. You know what I mean? I think he breathes it and lives it, and when that seeps into your blood that way, and you have that kind of drive, you have that kind of work ethic. I think it changes. It changes some things for you, and I think Frank has that. You know, Christopher, you said Frank will play faster this year. I've seen his practices. He's working hard. Yeah, he's working hard. I think, yes, he had to get used to the game in the U.S. Had to get used to the way we play here. You know what I'm saying? And figure out how he fits into that game. And then look, he's going to be more comfortable this year, playing with a bunch of other young guys. I think we're going to see some good stuff from Frank. Really, we're going to see some good stuff. What do you guys expect from Tim Hardaway Jr. this year? No. Before I get to there, I didn't get a chance to check the full Knicks roster for the Summer League. But I did read somewhere that Emmanuel Mudiay and Trey Burke are going to play on the Knicks Summer League roster. Yeah, Tyon. Frank missed Summer League last year. He got hurt during summer training camp, right? So he didn't play throughout preseason. He played one game in preseason. So you know, um, but yeah, Burke said he's not playing, but he'll be there to support. Okay, I had seen somewhere that they were both playing in summer league. I was wondering why Burke would have been playing. I can understand Moody, um, but Moody, I think he should play. In my opinion, I think he should play, and I hope that Fizdale told him, "Hey, I want you to play summer league because I want to see what you got." I seen a picture today of Moutier sitting on the plane with Erica Badu. Hopefully he was, they both from Texas, Dallas, right? Dallas area, whatever. Hopefully he was flying in New York so he can get to he can get to work with these guys. But about Timmy, back to Timmy. What do you expect from Tim Hardaway Jr.? Um, what I want to see, the first thing that I want to see from Tim Hardaway Jr. is more consistency in his game offensively, right? That's what I want to see. I don't think Tim's getting traded. When Stephen A. Smith asked Steve Mills today, when he was talking about Frank, and he asked him, who's going to give you offense in the back court? Who's going to give you offense? Steve Mills bumbled over himself a little bit, stumbled and bumbled, and said, we got Trey Burke and we got Tim Hardaway Jr. back there. And the first thing Stephen A. Smith said is, yeah, I like Tim Hardaway Jr. He's a little bit inconsistent, needs to work on his consistency, and I agree with him 100%. Need to work on his consistency. You know what I mean? It holds him back big time. Big time. His shot selection holds him back big time. He probably could be a hell of a shooter if he took the right shots. You know what I'm saying? But he's always pulling something crazy, pulling something wild. You know what I mean? You say he's got to stop relying on jumpers. I agree there. He needs to work on his skill in getting to the basket, creating off the bounce. I think I talked about that last show. If he's going to be one of your go-to scorers, he's got to be able to do some other things besides score in transition, catch the ball from three, catch a shoot. He's really got to be able to create for himself. And of course, you don't want him doing that all the time. That's not what I'm saying. We don't want him doing that all the time. But we do want him to be able to create for himself when it's needed. He should be a 20-point scorer. If he shoots, if he has a better shot selection, he'll be a 20-point scorer. With a better shot selection. David, you said Tim reached the ceiling already. Let's not. You think he reached the ceiling? Athletically, maybe he's not. Maybe athletically, he's not going to jump higher or get faster. Right. So maybe there, but I think basketball-wise, he can. IQ-wise, I think he can still build his IQ. I think you can. I mean, you can always build your IQ when you're in the NBA, when you're an NBA player, or just in anything that you do in your career. You can continue to gain knowledge in that area. Then I think Tim Hardaway Jr. can continue to gain knowledge, continue to build his basketball IQ to make himself a better player. Because I think if he just had a better basketball IQ, took better shots, he'd be that much better of a player. Defensively, he needs to continue to grow as well. Part of that is also basketball IQ. A lot of defense is physical, right? But you can build your defensive IQ as well. Understanding how to take angles, understanding when to rotate, those type of things. And I think that he can still get there as far as the mental side is concerned. And I just seen a very good comment. I love New York says Tim Hardaway Jr. needs to build mental toughness as well. 100%. He's got to build mental toughness. And I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. Look, he's bratty. He's bratty, right? He pouts, does all those things that a kid that grew up rich does. um, but yeah, he's got to get stronger mentally and not have those. I think part of the reason why we've seen him have swings throughout the season where he's playing really well and then not playing well is because of this up here. Where he gets when he gets down on himself, he begins, he pouts and he gets in his feelings and he can't pull himself out of it. And it lasts for a long time. But then when he's high on himself, he's playing really well. So he's got to get that together. And, they've got to do some mental work. They've got to do some mental work. Because look, if Tim Hardaway Jr. he obviously has talent, and maybe he has reached his peak of his physical peak. Maybe he has, right? But he still has a lot of talent, and he'll be at his physical peak for a while, for a few years, right? What is he? 26 years old. He's still got a while. He physically he's very talented. And if he could get the mind part of the game together, and you put him together with some of the young pieces we have right now, he could excel. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be an all-star. I know I said that once before, but after just watching him and being able to dissect him a little bit more, I don't know because of the mental part of the game. But now let's look at this though. When you have Kevin Knox there, and from the beginning, Kevin Knox is going to defer to Tim Hardaway Jr. because he's a rookie. He's probably going to defer to him. When you finally have Kevin Knox and KP, then you have Tim Hardaway. Even this year, we're having Kevin Knox there. Some of the pressure is going to be relieved from Tim Hardaway Jr., right? Some of that pressure is going to be relieved. And that is going to help him out, I think. Because, and then next year, and then when KP gets back, there's going to be a little bit more pressure. And Kanter, exactly, and Kanter. There's going to be some pressure. There's going to be some pressure taken off of Tim Hardaway Jr. this year. And so then let's see how it reacts then. Let's see how it happens then. Last year it was totally new for him. As far as him being a leader, it was totally new. You got to adjust a little bit. He's going to be used to it a little bit more this year. So let's see what happens. Because he's going to be the leader on the team while KP is out. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we do. And then of course having David Fizdale there, I think he might be able to get the best out of Tim Hardaway. He might be able to. You know what I mean? And I see people talking about trading Tim Hardaway. I do not know it's going to be as easy. I don't think it's going to be as easy to trade Tim Hardaway as some people might think right now. If he comes out and has a hell of a year next year, the first half, and then his trade value would definitely go up. But then, do you want to trade him if his trade value goes up? Why would you want to trade him if his trade value is? Why would you want to trade him if he's playing well and he's doing what you want to do? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Timmy. Someone just said, Ronald Cleveland, you said Knox has way too much in the toolbox, or too much in the toolbox to defer to Hardaway. You're probably right. And listen, I don't think he's gonna defer to him because he doesn't believe he has the ability. Speaking about Kevin Knox, um, I think he's going to defer to him just because Tim Hardaway's been in the league, right? He's an elder statesman compared to Kevin Knox. It's just natural for a young guy to do that. It's just natural for a young guy to do that, at least that first year. Second, third year, maybe it changes, but at least that first year, he'll probably defer to him a little bit. You know what I mean? Um, it's just natural. I think it's just natural for that to happen. Um, yeah, it's natural. So, let's talk about Kevin Knox. I know people want to talk about him. I think I've talked about him to death. Talked about him a lot. Um, I want to talk about something a little bit different though, and I'm gonna have a video that comes out about it. So I'm gonna ask you guys to leave it in the comments on the video. I just want you guys to think about it a little bit. When I was at the draft, I asked some people after we drafted Kevin Knox, what do you think some phrases that Clyde Frazier is going to use when talking about Knox, right? Like Kevin knocks it down, right? Kevin Knox is on fire. The Knicks with the knocks instead of the Knicks with the knack, or the Knox with the knack. I don't know. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. Mama said knocks you out. That's a good one. I like that. Knocking and popping. Knicks is knocking, or Knox is knocking. Yeah, Clyde is going to have a field day with this one. He definitely is. Clyde is going to have. Listen, Clyde is at home right now, sitting at his desk, just writing phrases, phrases, phrases. New Knox City. There you go. I like that. Knox City. Hard knocks. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of them. They're going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be out there. Listen, when I did the interviews, people couldn't think of anything. So that's kind of what the. So I'm gonna depend on you guys to put it in the comments. You know what I mean? Because no one can think of anything. Fort Knox is on lockdown. I don't know about that one, bro. With the obnoxious stuff. There you go. That's a real good one. With the obnoxious stuff. I like that. I like that. Yeah, so there's some good ones that's going to be out there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I know Walt Clyde Frazier is on the prowl with it. He's on the prowl with it. Other NBA stuff. Knox is in Kevin's house. Other NBA obnoxious stuff is definitely going to be, yeah, Knicks fan. That's definitely a Clydeism right there. Obnoxious stuff. uh, Other NBA stuff. Kawhi Leonard, San Antonio Spurs, talking to teams about a trade. Right now, from what I've read, and I'm sure you've read the same thing, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, looking to get into the mix for Kawhi Leonard. What if he goes to Boston? You say Kawhi's not going to get traded to the Lakers, but what if he goes to Boston? If he goes to Boston, do they move Gordon Hayward? Is Gordon Hayward part of that package, or I don't know. I don't know how it would have to work out for him to go to Boston. I'm pretty sure Danny Ainge would pull off something, right? But Boston, man, if they get in the mix and they find a way to pull out Jaylen Brown, yeah, if they find a way to pull out getting Kawhi Leonard, and now you got Kyrie, you got Kawhi, you got Jason Tatum, you got, man, Um, that could be tough. That could be a tough squad. You said Boston doesn't need Kawhi Leonard because they're going for Anthony Davis. They might be. Um, I don't know. I think that if they have a chance to get Kawhi, they might jump on it. They might jump on it. Um, yeah, exactly. Danny Ainge still has assets. Still got a bunch of assets that he can use, and he'll use them. He'll use them. And then of course, as I see someone said earlier, um, something LeBron James texting KD to talk about going to LA. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to that or anything like that. I don't see KD leaving Golden State. It'd be crazy, in my opinion. Why? If they're gonna pay you, you're able to get the money. Why leave? You know what I mean? Why leave? Now, I also heard though that Kawhi Leonard, and this comes from a reputable source from what I read, that Kawhi Leonard got on the horn with LeBron James and his people to talk about teaming up in LA. When he talked to he talked to LeBron James about how much he'd like to play with him. Um, that could be a lethal combination. That could be a lethal combination. So there's going to be some interesting things that happen out west. You know what I mean? Interesting things that happen out west when this free agency starts. And when it's over, it's probably going to be crazy with the way things are going down. I'm also reading that LBJ, Kawhi, and PG. Oh my goodness! And listen, and when you got a guy like Magic Johnson up there, listen, Magic Johnson is a smooth character, man. If you've watched documentaries on Magic, and the way that has always been able to just pull people together, I would not put it past Magic Johnson. Yes, Knicks Fan TV for sure. I would not put it past Magic Johnson to make something happen out there in LA. You know what I mean? He's just got that charisma. He's just got that charisma to make things happen. He's that kind of guy. You know what I mean? Flashes his smile and puts the charm on him, and he can make things happen. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't put it past Magic Johnson to make something happen. Yeah, and Mitch, exactly. That smile too, right? I wouldn't put it past it. So I'm watching that closely. But let me ask you this. How much pressure does that put on LeBron James? Like, LeBron James is not a pressure guy. He avoided the Knicks back in 2010 because of the pressure. He teamed up with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, what's his name? Kevin, teamed up to keep so he didn't have as much pressure on him. And that's cool. That's okay. It is what it is, right? Now, Kevin Love. I don't know why sometimes players be skipping my name, man. I be missing players' names sometimes. It be tripping me out sometimes. Got so many things going on up here sometimes. But anyway, you go to LA. LeBron James goes to LA. Now, you got to come behind Shaq and Kobe, Magic and Kareem, right? You're going to be expected to bring a championship to LA. He doesn't have a lot of time to do it. Right? I mean, you could try to put a squad together, but then you still got to, you still have to get past Houston. Still got to get past, obviously, Golden State. San Antonio Spurs will find a way to be tough. I can guarantee that. They're going to find a way to be tough. They always do. So now you gotta deal with them, and that's gonna be some pressure on them. Yeah, that's big time pressure, big lights. Yeah, I mean LeBron, I'm sure is ready for the lights. He's always been. LeBron was made for the lights. You know what I'm saying? LeBron was made for the lights. He was built for the lights from the time he was a kid. You know what I mean? But there's going to be some bright lights if he goes to LA. And will he be able to do it in those shadows? Will the Laker faithful expect him to win 2, 3 championships? They're going to expect him to win at least one. You can guarantee that. They want one. At least one. They want that. Will they expect two? Will they expect three? You know, and now you're following behind guys. Kobe won five. Magic and them guys won however many they won. I forgot. Right? You're following after them. You got to walk in them footsteps. That's some pressure on him because those are all. I mean, he's an all-time great, of course, but you've got to. I mean, you're gonna have to come to LA and bring it. Maybe that's the pressure that he needs. Career-wise, maybe it might be easier for him to stay in Cleveland and just say, okay, I'm gonna stay home. We're gonna try to bring championships here. Probably go back to the finals next year. They put a team together. Got to fight off Boston, of course. But goes to LA, it's a whole new challenge. And maybe at this point in his career, he looks at it and says, you know what? I don't want to get bored with the game. I need this challenge. So I'm going to go to LA and we're going to try to take down the Golden State Warriors. Listen, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it will definitely be must-see TV. You can bet that. It will be must-see TV, for real, if he goes to the Lakers. Lakers, that's must-see. What else happened in the NBA? Jamal Crawford. I like Jamal Crawford. Always been a Jamal Crawford fan. As soon as he came to the New York Knicks, I was a Jamal Crawford fan. Um, may consider signing with the Golden State Warriors. That's what I read. And I just seen somebody posted in the chat. May consider going to the Golden State Warriors. He'd fit in perfectly. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he'd be willing to, give up some playing time so that he could, have his chance at winning a chip. Listen, he would bring, they're already exciting. He'd bring more excitement to the team. They'll just be deeper. He'll be, I'm sure he'd be content with he's always been content. He's never been the kind of guy that causes any kind of trouble. Has been any kind of, selfish guy. He just goes out there and plays his game and plays ball. And I think Steve Kerr would be able to say, you do what you do. We put you in the game, you do what you do. Right? The Warriors, hey, when you're a team like the Warriors, man, you almost players in the league looking and say, look, they're probably gonna win a chip. I'm gonna go rock with them for a little bit and get me a chip, and then I can go off and do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? Why not? Jamal Crawford's what, 37, 38 years old? He might as well go try to get him a chip. And listen, it's not like he's going to be sitting on the end of the bench like Eddie Curry did in Miami. He'll be getting significant playing time. You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy. I think that would be crazy. Crawford is an upgrade from Swaggy P. Yeah, he is. Sure, he's an upgrade from Swaggy P. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted Jamal Crawford to come back to the Knicks. Always did. And I would love to see him come back to the Knicks. Well, not now. Not now. Not now. I mean, we have guards. We don't need Jamal Crawford. In the past, I always wanted him to come back to Jamal Crawford. I don't know if we could use him now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, where would he fit in? We have Tim Hardaway Jr. You have Courtney Lee. If Courtney Lee is still here, you have, these other young guys. Why would you bring Jamal Crawford? But I'm just saying, I always liked Jamal Crawford, man. Always liked Jamal Crawford. Always wish he came back to the Knicks. Probably not going to happen. He's trying to win himself a championship now, so he might as well go get it. You know what I'm saying? Rise and fire. There you go. Gus Johnson. Yeah. That's it. You have a Jamal Crawford's Knicks jersey. Yep. That's what's up. Jamal Crawford. Hey, you know what? When I think back at that squad that the Knicks had, You know what I mean? I really did have some hope. I know people they get on Isaiah Thomas a lot, but I felt like Isaiah Thomas brought some. He did bring some talent in. I thought he did. He gave up some draft picks that probably wasn't the best idea, but we had Jamal Crawford, we had Stephon Marbury, we had Zebo, we had Eddie Curry, and when Eddie Curry first came, I don't care. People can say what they want about Eddie Curry right now. When he first came, people was excited about Eddie Curry because that man could score in the post. He ate himself out the league, no doubt about it. He ate himself out the league. He couldn't get in shape, couldn't stay in shape. But Eddie Curry, when he first came to the Knicks, he was a beast in that post. And people thought Eddie Curry could become an all-star, right? But the Knicks had a squad, man. Yeah, I thought there was a squad. Marbury, Crawford, uh, uh, Eddie Curry. You know what I'm saying? David Lee ended up coming to the squad. Man, Knicks fan TV, exactly. Isaiah had a good vision for that team. He overpaid them. He did. Q Rich was on the squad. Man, they had a squad. I don't care. People can say what they want. Isaiah Thomas brought some talent in. I thought he brought talent to the team. And then you know, Zebo. I mean, if I'm not gonna say that team would have won a championship, right? But if that squad had stayed together for a little bit, that squad stayed together for a little bit. They could have been good. As a matter of fact, when they finally traded everybody, and they traded everybody and brought in T Mac so that they could free up T Mac's, get T Mac's contract off so they could try to sign LeBron. That team had started to play a little bit. You know what I mean? Knicks fan, you say they just fizzled. Steph wasn't the leader they needed. That's true. That's true. That's true. Steph wasn't exactly the leader that they needed. You know what I mean? I agree with that right there. But I was excited about that crew, man. I was excited. I thought maybe there could be something. Mike D'Antoni maybe wasn't the coach that you needed. I think Larry Brown was there before Mike D'Antoni. It's just if there wasn't so much drama surrounding that team, Larry Brown could have molded that team and put that team together. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It is what it is. Zebo was a little bit different. Hey, was scoring the post. You had Zebo, you had Eddie Curry. The game back then they were still trying to pound you down in the post back then. Kind of, you were just on the crust of the game starting to change, and Mike D'Antoni really ushered in that change in the league. You know what I mean? He really did usher in that change. Knicks been through it, man. We've been through it. We've had all kinds of stuff. That's why we get addicted to the Knicks. We get addicted. And we be feeding for them. They throw us a little bit out there, then take it back. Throw us a little bit out there, take it back. Hit us with something big. Then we always looking for that. It is, yeah, But yeah, I miss that squad. But we in for some good times right now. We're in for some good times, and we're in such a good situation. We're in such a good situation right now, especially when we get into 2019, 2020. Money starts to come off the books. We got young guys and draft picks and money. That's what we're looking at in 2019 and 2020. Money, draft picks, and young thoroughbreds. That's what we are seeing in the next 2 years. And that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful situation. The hound dogs. We're gonna bring them hound dogs in, and Dave Fizdale is gonna develop those hound dogs. You know what I'm saying? But we're in a nice situation as long as we don't do anything crazy and sell out. Don't sell out. I'm saying if we don't do anything crazy and sell out, we're on the right track, and we're gonna make some. We'll be there. Tim Thomas, Al Harrington. Tim Thomas, I like that name that you brought up, because if there's one person that I get afraid that Kevin Knox would become in this league, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but hey, we just talking. Um, I would be afraid that he became Tim Thomas, and this is why. Tim Thomas was the wing of today before today, right? Tim Thomas is the prototype of today's players, of today's wings. 6'10". He could handle the rock. He could shoot the three. He could go to the basket. He could post up. He had all the tools. The same way we talk about Kevin Knox, Tim Thomas had all those tools, right? Um, all those tools. He could do everything on the floor, but he never reached his potential. Yeah, he was a beast in Milwaukee, but he just never reached the potential that he was supposed to reach. He just never got there. You know what I mean? Never got there. Um, I hope that Kevin Knox is able to tap into all of his potential. You know what I'm saying? But he just reminds me of what Tim Thomas wasn't. He didn't come off screens and stuff like that like Kevin Knox came. But Tim Thomas is kind of the prototype of. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. You say it's a different time. Yeah, yeah. I get that. You're right. It is a different time. I'm just saying that Tim Thomas was like the prototype of today's. Uh, um, I don't want to say big men, but those long threes and wings, and those stretch power forwards. He was that prototype. It's like he is like that guy that he kind of ushered that in. People were like, uh, um, I remember when he was coming into the league, it was like, they hadn't seen a guy that can do what he does at his size. You know what I mean? So I just hope that, Kevin Knox reaches his potential, does become Tim Thomas. Does become the Tim Thomas of the league. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't think he will. I think I'm not going to say he's seen Tim Thomas, but hopefully, he's seen these guys that are like that and understands. See, what happens with guys that have so much talent and can do everything on the floor, everything always comes so naturally to them and it's so easy that they feel like they don't have to work at it because it's easy, because it comes easy. You know, sometimes those guys with that kind of talent, you really have to push them. Someone has to be there to push them, or they may not have the drive. They don't have the drive because everything has always come so easy. The gift and the curse, yeah. Or the curse of the gifted, you say, yeah. Because everything comes so easy, so they don't work like they should. And with him, he has the tools all the way around the board to do everything offensively. And he has the ability to play defense. So I hope that he doesn't have that kind of mentality. You know what I mean? I really do. What I do like, Steve Mills, when he was, Stephen A. Smith asked him about Kevin Knox. And he asked him about, some of the lapses that he has in games, right, where he kind of disappears. And Steve Mills said that they asked him about it. And that Kevin Knox said, at that point, I needed to learn how to play with my teammates in Kentucky. I wasn't sure exactly what my role was and that I had to step up, or didn't understand that I needed to step up and I had to learn it. And that was one of the things that made them say they want to go get this guy, because I know I've heard that from some other people, um, that was one of the knock on Knox. You know what I mean? That he could fade away from the game. Um, they inquired. They did their work. I got to give it up to this front office. They did their due diligence, man. They did their work. I definitely got to give it up to them. Yeah. Once again, man, let me remind you guys. This is Simeon Russell, Nothing But Knicks. But Sunday, July 8th, Tommy D is going to be on the show. Sunday, July 8th, Tommy D, 10:30 p.m. He's going to be on the show, talk free agency, talk New York Knicks. It's going to be cool. I like Tommy D. You know what I'm saying? Do we always agree? No, I don't always agree. But he'll be on. You know what I mean? Talk New York Knicks with us. July 8th, 10:30 p.m. July 8th, 10:30 p.m. I see somebody put July 9, 10 p.m. Nah, don't you can't mess it up, bro. July 8th, 10:30 p.m. Tommy D. Let's get it. You're gonna be on the show. Let's get it. Yep. And we got some more. We got some more people that are working to get on the show. You know, me and Knicks Fan TV. We're gonna do something. We've been having some conversations. So for sure, you know, it's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna try to do something that's epic or something, man. Um, yeah. So you know, we're talking some other people that's gonna be on the show. So I got some people that I'm talking to. That's gonna come on the show, and yeah, I don't want to. I ain't trying to let the cat out the bag, but you know, got some other people I'm talking to, see what we can do. You know what I mean? She put the show on Payback. You said she put the show on iTunes and on SoundCloud. Yeah, it is on Stitcher. It's on Stitcher. You know, I might look at some other things to put it on for sure. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion. Payback Carter, big shout out. That's a good suggestion. You know, Summer League. Can't wait for Summer League as well, man. You know, we're here. You said Knicks fans are cheap and broke except for nothing but Knicks. Nah, man. Knicks fans is, let's put it like this. Knicks fans is diverse. You know what I mean? We got people, we got rich people, we got broke people. Don't matter. We all one family. You know, Sammy said, don't go too ahead of yourself. It's gonna take the next time to start gelling. Oh, of course, I'm with you. It's gonna take time for the Knicks to start gelling. I get that. You know, they're gonna have to gel. I'm not expecting the Knicks to make the playoffs this year, really. I expect them to fight for the playoffs. I'm not sure if they're gonna have everything that they need to make the playoffs. But I expect them to fight for it and then let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? Let the chips fall where they may. You know. So, Knicks fans, it is 118. I am going to head out because I got to finish up our last day tomorrow. Like I said, I've been in a board retreat all week. We've been going on, you know, talking strategies and talk about things that's happened over the last year, all these things. And tomorrow, we finally nail it all down to some goals that we want to work towards this year, with some deadlines and some things like that. So, you know, we got to finish up tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I got some things I got to do to prepare for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, can you accept my Skype invite? I will, yeah, no doubt. I'm not, I mean, I'll check it out when we're off of here, when we're out of here. But, yeah, you know, we got to finish that up tomorrow. Then I'll be, you know, getting back home. So I'll be in the studio. So Sunday, I'll be, you know, the show will be on at 10:30 from the studio. Be back in my own digs, which I'm excited for. Can't wait for that. I survived the haunted house, at least right now. I've survived. You know what I mean? Survived the haunted house. Last night, I spent about 2 hours looking for these mystery stairs. Couldn't find the mystery stairs. You know what I mean? There was, so I just said, forget it. Maybe I'm not meant to find them, because if I find them, maybe I'm not going to like what's down those stairs or up those stairs or whatever it is. So I said, forget it. Go back to the room and chill. You know, yeah, you're right. Need a haircut. I'm saying, we've been in here working, man. We've, you know, been in here working. You know, me and, you know, these clients, we getting some things done. So happens like that. You know, when you're working, hair grows a little bit faster when you're doing things, you know. But anyway, I'm about to head out, folks. And I will definitely see you Sunday. I'll be back in the studio. Remember, marking out your calendars. Sunday, July 8th. Tommy D is going to be on the stream, 10:30 p.m. All right. But hey, I'm out. I'll see y'all Sunday, 10:30 p.m. All right. Mighty Knicks, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. You say, I want to debate Frank Hater to Skype calls. Yeah, we working on. I'm working on having you guys come in and debate. Maybe I'll have something for Sunday. We'll see. If so, I'm gonna reach out to at least two people to come on the show and do a debate. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm out. I will talk to you guys Sunday night. And peace, man. Don't forget to holler at me on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, at NothinButKnicks. Peace. I'll get at y'all.